Hey, this is Dr. James with some Stop Smoking Today bonus content. We put a bunch of videos together right here in one spot, one playlist, so they could be easy for you to find. And hopefully you'll find some things that encourage you to help you know that you can stop smoking today.
If you're a smoker trying to quit, there are 100 products you could try, but maybe nothing at all is the best one.
I agree. Cold turkey, my opinion.
Hey there, aware citizens. Trace here for D News. Now, smoking is bad for you. It causes cancer and a gazillion other diseases. You know that, we know that. This is your life. We're not going to tell you what to do. But we are going to tell you the science behind quitting if you or someone you know is trying to kick the habit. Now, before we break down the options, we have to first understand why it's so difficult to quit in the first place. And that comes down to one word: nicotine. It's what's naturally found in tobacco, and when inhaled, it travels quickly to the brain. There, it releases dopamine and other feel-good chemicals into brain cell receptors. This creates more and more nicotine receptors in the brain. When these are starved of nicotine, you go through intense withdrawal, which can lead to depression and tension until you get your next fix. So the trick may be to gradually give your brain less and less nicotine, which is where the highly advertised treatment of nicotine replacement therapy comes into play. We're talking about patches, chewing gum, lozenges, inhalers, and even nasal spray and lollipops. But do any of these methods actually work? Let's take one of the most popular, the patch. This is typically a reservoir of nicotine sandwiched between occlusive and permeable adhesive layers. Stick it on your skin, and the nicotine slowly leaches through the layers of your dermis to the hypodermis, which contains blood vessels needed to bring the drug into the bloodstream. This happens at a much slower rate and a lower concentration than smoke inhalation. Different patches contain different amounts of nicotine, slowly ridding your body's dependence on the drug. But is it effective? Well, one study conducted by the Harvard School of Public Health looked at 787 adults who had recently quit smoking. They were surveyed 3 different times over the course of 6 years and asked questions about what type of nicotine replacement therapy they had used, the duration of this therapy, if they consulted a professional, and their current smoking habits. During each one of those check-ins, around a third of the participants had relapsed. This led researchers to conclude that using nicotine replacement therapy is no more effective in helping people stop smoking cigarettes in the long term than trying to quit on one's own. There are also alternative ways to quit smoking. Some people have tried acupuncture or hypnosis, but based on some of our latest videos, it's a little up for debate on whether or not those work. And others have even tried lasers. Yeah, lasers. Well, low-level laser therapy. The company, Innovative Laser Therapy, claims that an hour of therapy is all you'd need to quit your addiction. The laser targets specific points in the body that the company alleges are related to addiction, claiming it relieves withdrawal symptoms and prevents cravings. The owner says the laser basically stimulates the nerve endings to tell the brain to release a flood of endorphins. But basically isn't science, and though there have been a few studies to determine its validity, they are few and far between with inconclusive results. But perhaps the best thing to do, maybe nothing at all. In a 2016 study published in the journal Annals of Internal Medicine, 697 adult smokers who smoked at least 15 cigarettes a day were divided into 2 groups: those who quit cold turkey and those who gradually reduced their smoking over the course of 2 weeks. Researchers recorded the results both 4 weeks, then 6 months later. Nearly half of the cold turkey group successfully quit smoking after a month, compared to 39% of those who gave it up gradually. At the half-year mark, the rates of success reduced to 22% and 15% respectively, but this still means the cold turkey technique is more effective than gradual reduction. Of course, there are other factors that take place when finding the right way to quit, like genetics and age, and like so many of our health-related episodes, it's probably best to consult your doctor on what is right for you. Smoking does a lot of crazy stuff to your body, but when you do find out the effective way to quit, is that enough to reverse all the damage done? Tara talks about it right here.
The first thing they do is destroy cilia, which are tiny little hairs that live in the mucus lining your lungs. When you inhale pathogens or dirt, they get trapped in that mucus, and the cilia is what pushes them back out. When you smoke cigarettes, the poison in them paralyzes and destroys those cilia, making it harder for you to avoid infections.
Have you or anyone you know tried to quit smoking? What did you use? Did it work? Share your success stories in the comments.
Okay, that was pretty interesting. Short. The guy went over quite a few things that we talk about in our Stop Smoking Today guidebook, where we go through all sorts of different types of things that people have tried to use to stop smoking and are using to stop smoking. But it goes back to the one I think is my favorite. How I've stopped every addiction I've ever stopped was cold turkey. That's just what's worked for me. And thankfully, since I became a person who prays and have a relationship with the Lord, that I've got a lot of spiritual strength and help to overcome things that try to hold me back even still today. But I believe you can stop smoking. If you're watching this and you're still smoking, I believe you can do it. And maybe you found something here that you can try and will help you. We've got the books we've written that are at stopsmokingtodaybooks.org. And I know you can do this. You can stop smoking today.